Welcome to Season 7 of LATiNAS, the only Emmy-nominated show that's all about nosotras, created by nosotras, and I'm Tinabeth Piña. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and as you know, we celebrate ourselves all year long. But one thing that's celebrated only twice a year in New York City is Fashion Week. And today we're in the Garment District, a neighborhood known for its role in the production and manufacturing of clothing since the early 20th century. And while Fashion Week often shines a spotlight on designers and models, it's not just about the runway. There's a powerful story unfolding behind the scenes as well. For the past 10 years, the Stitches by Hugo Foundation, founded by Colombian designer Hugo Herrera, has been helping Latina women build lives through its free sewing program. Let's take a look at how this nonprofit is stitching together second chances.
My name is Jenny Garcia, and they call me Jenny G. So I already made a little name out there for me. And my inspiration to come here in Stitches by Hugo is for the love of fashion and God. God brought me here.
Mi nombre es Hugo Herrera. Soy el fundador de Stitches by Hugo. Emigré a Nueva York porque Nueva York es el centro mundial de la moda. Yo dije, es una gran oportunidad, pero aparte era una promesa de Dios. Empecé trabajando en unas compañías como costurero y me preocupé mucho por la comunidad latina, porque yo como latino también pues sufrimos el idioma, sufrimos que estamos en un país diferente, ¿no? Entonces yo me puse como en los zapatos de ellos y dije, bueno, voy a formar mi escuela para enseñar lo que yo sé.
Hugo is such an important person right now in my life because he gave me the confidence that I needed. He says, it doesn't matter if you didn't get it, he made sure he gives you attention. So there was a lot of people in the class, but you felt singled out by him so that he wanted to make sure that your patterns were correct and so that you can make your garments beautiful.
Entonces, eso me alegra mucho porque esa misión mía en este momento pues, se ha hecho muy conocida. Tenemos más de 200 llamadas, mensajes, tenemos más de 2,000 personas que quieren estudiar.
I think that Stitches by Hugo is an amazing non-for-profit company. I'm so happy that I was a part of it. I think for the community, it's also going to be amazing. There's a lot of people that don't have a lot of resources, and they would take advantage of these classes that are being offered here. And I'm so happy that they will also have the same, what I had to experience.
Entonces, las mujeres cabezas de hogar se han interesado. Hoy día la mujer quiere superarse también, porque no solamente el hombre es el que está más arriba. La mujer se quiere superar y quiere aprender una profesión más.
Being a mom was very difficult because I was a single mom for 2 children and they were 4 years apart. So that was challenging. It's like finishing with one, starting with the other. They kept me pretty busy and I left myself always last. That's what a good mom is. That's what I was taught being a Latina.
Mira, te voy a contar algo. Muchas de ellas cuando hicieron su primera muestra lloraron de la alegría de ver que hicieron una prenda hecha por ellas mismas, se lo pusieron y esa alegría pues a mí me da también, me refleja mucho y me da mucha alegría también de verlas a ellas, ¿ya?
I think fashion is about going forward and just attaining the unattainable, I say. More like wear whatever you want and have the confidence to show it.
Mi mayor satisfacción en esto y mi mejor legado es decirle a la gente que sin egoísmo enseñemos lo que nosotros hemos aprendido.
How many Latinas have you seen driving a taxi in New York City? Not many, right? Although it's a male-dominated profession on these streets, one Latina has been behind the wheel for over 30 years. Correspondent Anny Ruiz Huayamabe is about to introduce us to Emma Tzoumas, today's Inspiración Latina.
In the city that never sleeps, yellow cabs has always been a symbol of movement and everyday stories. But behind the wheel, it's mostly men. For decades, the taxi industry has been a man's world. Today, in New York City, over 10,000 yellow cabs run the streets. 94% driven by men, only 6% by women.
And Emma, the taxi driver. Buenos días.
Buenos días. 77-year-old Emma Tzoumas is one of them. Originally from Quito, Ecuador, she has been navigating the streets through traffic, challenges, and life itself for more than 30 years. Emma, what made you become a taxi driver here, especially in New York City?
Well, like everybody else, money. At the time when I started to do, I really need it. Thank God I have a chance to get into this business. I'm very happy then and now.
Her journey began when her husband walked away, leaving her with 2 young children and no clear path forward. Now it was all on her. She tried everything, but when she said she wanted to drive a taxi, they said it wasn't a job for women.
They laugh because to start, I was in 2-piece suit, well-dressed, high heels, and I want to be a taxi driver. You say, what? Are you kidding me?
She works Monday through Saturday, 12 hours a day. And after all these years, some reactions never get old.
Oh, it's a lady driver. My God, it's the first time. People surprised to see a woman driving. Then 30 years ago, and now, after 30 years ago, I changed, but the reaction is the same. No, you're lady driving. You drive better than a man.
Emma has seen the city change, but when it comes to women taxi drivers, has much really changed? Do you see more women driving taxis here in New York City?
Yellow cabs, actually no. Maybe in 6 months I see one, maybe in 2 years I see one, and maybe 2 in 1 day. But there's not too many. I ask ladies to come over and drive. It's beautiful.
Emma, what advice would you give to women that are thinking of becoming a taxi driver?
Do it. In this job, you don't only have the money, you have life. You get to know people from all over the world.
It hasn't all been sacrificed, but this job has given her precious rewards and unforgettable moments.
In the summer, you can see the way the people dress, the way they behave. That fascinates me. Different day, different things, different people, different weather.
And surprising encounters.
Well, I have Placido Domingo. I picked him up in Park Avenue, and he was a gentleman, very nice person.
And yes, Emma is an immigrant who built a life for herself behind the wheel of a yellow cab. A life full of independence, purpose, and pride. And if you ask her when she'll stop driving, she'll just smile and say,
let's say 2 years, 3 years. Actually, I say that about 10. Like I told you, the knowledge to do it and the mentality to do it, the nerves to do it, I will do it.
After 3 decades on the streets of New York City, Emma is not just behind the wheel, she's rewriting the rules. Bye. For LATiNAS, I'm Anny Ruiz Huayamabe.
So how did 2 accountants and a college administrator become successful entrepreneurs? 3 jefas are about to tell us how in today's Caliente Caliente.
I ventured into my career in accounting for 15 years. Throughout that, I started seeing a passion come up, and that was entrepreneurship. I had that one little bug just bite me, and it was it. I haven't looked back since. Julissa, I know that you are an entrepreneur now, but right. What was your transition and your journey?
My story, it's really interesting because I worked in the higher education for over 27 years. It was so hard for me to let go on something that was safe.
For me, corporate wasn't a choice. I knew it. I came older, adult. I was a mom with 3 children. I didn't have the time to work the long hours. I couldn't do the travel. And my mindset was, I need to have a, flexible schedule And that's what I did.
As I transitioned from corporate to entrepreneurship, here's one thing. I never had the chance to tell my mother that I changed and I left my corporate job because that was stability. Because as traditional Latinos, they just like, you have a career, that is stable.
That is true.
Why would you leave that for something you don't know it's going to be possible?
Yeah, that is so true. I had no idea where this was going to head, but I knew there was something there. I knew that if I was consistent, if I was, focused on the things that I really wanted to achieve, it was going to pay off.
Entrepreneurship is something that may not be for everyone, but I know that 25 years being an entrepreneur has definitely put me in a whole different level than when I was in the corporate world. I do destination events all over globally, and a shy girl that I grew up as, a shy little Latina girl, Puerto Rican girl, here just really sharing knowledge.
I put up a business in the Dominican Republic that focuses on events business, which has been established since 2015. And the most recent company, which is very proudly say it's a multi-million-dollar company, it's a logistics business, and we have been able to donate back to our communities, creating scholarships. So my new life has opened up in opportunities that I have never dreamt of doing.
I am a partner, owner in a CPA. Now, I am sitting in the decision maker seat. So, and I am on a journey. Now, what is coming for my future? Building communities, giving opportunities, and I feel happy that all the hard work has been able to brought me to where I am today.
LATiNAS and CUNY TV celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. From September 15th to October 15th, Latinx everywhere come together to celebrate the customs, traditions, histories, and cultures that make up our heritage. The celebration originated in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week and was expanded to 30 days by President Ronald Reagan in 1988. The celebration pays tribute to the generations of Hispanic Americans who have positively influenced and enriched our nation. If you're wondering why it starts and ends in the middle of the month, that's because the 15th marks the Independence Day of 5 Latin American countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Mexico and Chile follow shortly thereafter on the 16th and 18th. Wepa!
This is the time of year when many of us head back to class and hit the books. For Reiki master Yokasta Tineo, it was a school project that led her on an unexpected journey and opened the door to her life's passion. Correspondent Andrea Ortega Williams has that story.
Reiki is an art form original to Japan. It translates as universal life force energy. I often equate it to the source field or the force field in Star Wars because it's accessible to anyone, anywhere.
Reiki is an ancient Buddhist healing practice rediscovered in Japan by Dr. Mikao Usui in the mid-1800s. Yokasta guides energy through her hands to support her clients' well-being.
The hand positions in Reiki are simply laying your hands on, above, or around any of the energy centers. And the energy centers it's a vertical line down your body. I learned about Reiki when I was writing my college essay on Afro-Dominican women. The question I asked myself was, how did communities survive and thrive amidst colonialism, right? Amidst all the violence and the difficult times that my ancestors have endured? How did they survive?
The answer to that question took her back to the Dominican Republic, where she reconnected to her family's healing traditions.
Both my grandmothers are known to hold horas santas, holy hours. And growing up, I was often told this story of my mother and grandmother taking me to a medicine lady for the purposes of healing.
Yokasta also tapped into a little-known legacy of Japanese settlers who migrated to her island homeland in the 1950s.
Growing up, my mother always told me of friends of hers that were Japanese that she had growing up. So it was not new to me that things of Japanese culture are in Dominican Republic. I was so appreciative of having learned Reiki from Dominican elders because it does give me a different context of experience.
17 years later, Yokasta has a thriving Reiki practice in Upper Manhattan.
It's all word of mouth, so in that way it's very grassroots. People bringing their family members, their mom, their partners, their children. And I don't have a number on that, but I know that I've worked on more than 1,500 different bodies.
I have had Reiki a couple of times before. It's allowed me to balance out more and ground myself in the instances where I've had it.
Welcome, Jen. You can take a seat.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today? How's your body feeling? Most of my clients I see on a regular basis of once a month, once every other month. And the reasons are varied.
Reiki regulates the nervous system and ushers healing into the physical body as well.
I came with a lot of tension in my body and heaviness, emotional heaviness, and I feel much lighter after the session.
Thank you so much. This journey has taught me to really understand intrinsically the sacredness of everything and everyone.
For Yokasta, working with clients has an added bonus.
I'm very grateful for doing this work because it keeps reminding me, right, of what I need to do. And I close my day out with, again, trying to connect back to practices of my own.
And the future promises even more opportunities for growth.
I have been working with other organizations and practitioners and creating healing spaces for community. And I'm very curious to keep exploring and expanding with this work.
For LATiNAS, I'm Andrea Ortega Williams.
Did you know that CUNY actively supports Latinas in STEM through its various programs and initiatives across all of its campuses? You're about to meet one PhD student who is on a mission to not only become an expert in science, technology, engineering, and maths, but also plans to promote diversity and inclusion within it as well. Let's meet her.
I'm just a normal girl. I like to go shopping. I like to go to the beach. I like to play with my cats, and I love all these other things, but I also love science. My name is Denise Moran Ramirez, and I am a PhD student in the Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology program at the Graduate Center. My passion for research started in college, but I was always a curious kid, and I may have not been the top of my class, but I knew what I wanted to study, and I knew what I liked, and I knew I was interested and curious to learn more about the world that I was seeing around me. I had teachers not believe in me, and I didn't let that stop me. I knew that I was a hard worker. I came from a single parent household. My mom instilled in me that I really could do anything that I put my mind to, so I still applied to the biology majors when I applied to college, and I got into City College of New York for their sciences program. My first time in the lab really opened me up to what a career in STEM could look like. I was applying what I was learning in class into real life applications on the bench, and it was something I had never experienced before. And then also with my lab, I was able to do outreach in middle schools, and growing up I didn't see scientists who looked like me. So being able to be that representation really made me passionate about wanting to continue my career in research. And as a woman, as a Latina, as a child of an immigrant, I'm doing something that's bigger than me. This is for my community, for my people, and for my identity as a woman in STEM. During the pandemic, like everyone else, I was inside, and Discovery, the channel, they have these science kits. They're for kids, but I would order them and I would have so much fun just playing with them in my room that I'm like, I should make a video on this. Like, I should, show people that you can do fun science in your room, even if it's with a little kit. So I started making TikToks, and I started making Instagram Reels, kind of doing like little reviews on them. And I decided that I wanted to turn my page into The Scientist, and I meshed both like my personal life, but also like I wanted to include like my science journey. I do videos on like a day in the life in the research lab, or like come image some slides with me. And then the next video can be, hey, look at my fashion haul on all this stuff I bought. I think that duality is what I really try to share. I want to be able to bridge the gap between people who are not in science and people who are in science, and to bring science to kids and older adults, and potentially, I don't know, be a science TV show host. That's kind of my big dream. Since I've been able to like share my science, I have had the opportunity to be the face of CUNY's campaign and like some really cool ads and be all over the subways, and so that was awesome. I've even had the opportunity to go out to California and do and be part of a podcast called The Astronaut's Daughter, where I was able to meet Jose Hernandez's daughter. Jose Hernandez is one of the first Mexican astronauts. So I've gotten these really cool opportunities to talk about my journey and the way that it hasn't been a straightforward path. It's so easy to feel like you don't belong, especially as a woman in STEM, and I've never felt that way at City College, at the Graduate Center. Like, I feel so welcomed and so accepted by like everyone, like from the security guards at the front desk to the professors to the admin to the people that even the president of the Graduate Center like says hello to our cohort in the hall. Like, he recognizes us. That feeling of like community, the feeling of family is something that is so strong in CUNY. So I'm just really grateful.
We all know that New York City is one of the centers of the fashion world. And amid the buzz of sewing machines and vibrant fabrics, young designers are turning their fashion dreams into runway-ready reality at the Fashion Squad School. Correspondent Isabel Ortiz has that story.
Ever since I could remember, I just wanted to be extraordinary. I wanted to not blend in. So I would cut all my clothes, my mom's clothes, my sister's. And most of it was disaster because I was so young. But yes, being able to hold scissors and create, I loved, cutting everything and creating something unique.
Layana brings that same fearless creativity to the Fashion Squad School. It's not your typical sewing class. It's a complete fashion experience.
Not only they get to sew, they also model their own clothes. They have a photo shoot, they have runway, they have hair and makeup, they design, they sketch, they drape, they play with fabric. I wanted to be a hub for creative children to be seen and heard.
For Layana, fashion goes far beyond fabric. At the Fashion Squad School, it becomes a way for kids to build confidence, spark their creativity, and learn to work together.
Why do you think fashion is such a powerful tool for young people?
I think fashion is so special because it encompasses so much. They have to explain to us the silhouette, what they want, the fabric. They learn textile, they learn fine motor skills, concentration, patience, camaraderie, because sometimes they have to work on a design with other students. We also teach them upcycling. We always tell them, you are wearing something that you created. You are the only person in the world who has this dress or pants. And their eyes just like sparkle when they realize that.
I'm Marcella and I'm a fashionista. The most thing I love about Fashion Squad is that the teachers are so nice and I love wearing what I sew because fashion is power. I'm Isabella and I'm an extraordinary fashion designer. Something that makes me feel really powerful is when I sketch outfits and then soon it becomes real.
From a handful of students to a full community of young designers, the Fashion Squad School has grown in ways Layana never imagined. But it all started with one mission.
I realized how fashion is a dying art. So many people don't know how to sew anymore. It's skipping generations. This is a superpower. Sewing, you can imagine something and make it happen with your own hands. And I saw how empowering it was because I was teaching my son and my daughter. As playtime, they would have friends coming over, and I would just start teaching them how to sew, and they loved it.
How are you?
We're doing fantastic.
Great. Good.
Before building the Fashion Squad School, Layana made a name for herself on Project Runway, and that spotlight led to her making Disney history, designing the dress for the first Latina princess, Elena of Avalor, a design inspired by her grandmother.
I remember doing a lot of research in Inca, Peruvian style, Mexican, everything blend together, incorporating my grandmother's embroidery. So it was a mixture of mandala flowers and Inca culture, the colors, and her designs. I had to honor her.
Though Layana's years in fashion taught her many lessons, it's the kids at the Fashion Squad School who continue to inspire her, reminding her to stay fearless and creative.
They put together things that you would never think. As an adult, I think after you grow up, you lose that magic. Even as a designer, sometimes I do what I want, but sometimes I think about, oh, what would people think if I do this? I learn from them to just be free. Do you, because when you're doing something that you love and it makes you happy, you're going to exude happiness.
For LATiNAS, I'm Isabel Ortiz.
That's our show for today. For more information on what you just saw, check out our website at tv.cuny.edu. Follow us on social or download the CUNY TV app and watch LATiNAS 24/7. And definitely make sure you tune in next month where we'll get spooky and learn more about the history of La Llorona. We'll introduce you to a Facebook group that supports women earning PhDs and so much more. ¡Uepa! Hasta la próxima. Bye-bye.